Initialize sequence now.
Morning, folks.
It's a real thing.
The Edge Morning Show.
We're now in the approach phase. Everything looking good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey, guys.
Welcome to the Edge Morning Show.
With Chris Knight, Eric Johnson, Fox 2's Faust, and Tabitha Hassell.
The Edge starts now.
Good morning. What day is it?
Today is Monday.
What's she singing?
Today is Monday.
What? It's Monday already?
I hate Mondays. Mondays are the worst.
Wait, there's more.
More?
Yes, more. Briefly, I hate Mondays. Hate them.
Well, we do have fantastic coffee.
Then I'm all gravy, baby.
All right, let's start.
All right, here we go. Hold your ears, folks. It's showtime.
Hey, it is showtime. It's all gravy, baby. I love that. Chris, that would be an awesome slogan for the show. It's all gravy, baby.
It is all gravy, baby.
Did you go camp again this weekend?
No.
Then how come you were silent again off the text line? It's like you have totally gone AWOL for like a month straight.
I talked to him. He just didn't want to talk to you.
I was kind of mad at Eric.
Okay, what's going on there?
Well, because he
A
kind
little
of
drama on radio is always good.
Yeah, he kind of stiff tab and I.
Yes, he did. I'm very
Really
frustrated with him as well.
So I'm a little aggravated.
He thinks he's DC. He can just come in whenever he wants.
Yeah, thank you very much, Tabitha. Thank you. Thank you. A little prima donna going on over there.
But
with
Eric's
the
always
That's why
been
we
a
call
little
him
prima
Princess.
donna.
Yeah.
What?
But that's common for Eric. I'll be there. Then you never hear from him and he doesn't show up.
How did he stiff
He
you?
didn't show up.
Oh.
And people came by and looked for him and he was not there.
Oh, I get it.
Where's Eric? Eric tells everybody he's going to be out there. Eric don't show up.
I know.
He's playing with the
Well,
metal studs.
All right. Well, you can talk to him when he gets
Yeah.
in. Eric Johnson will be here shortly.
You can believe it, I will.
I don't ever see you this direct. I have never seen you this direct. Oh, wow.
Eric's in big trouble.
Chris Knight, Tabitha Hassell. I'm Vic Faust of Fox 2. Thanks, everybody. Hope you had a good weekend. We appreciate you joining us this morning. There's never a dull moment. There really isn't in this day and age, especially to talk on the radio. We got you the fastest 2 hours of morning talk radio the next 2 hours. And there is so much to get into. Sam Page. I saw over the weekend all kinds of stuff with Page. I see more memes about him now
Oh, I bet.
than anybody. He's got a presser at 8:30. God forbid one person tested positive that was at the St. Louis County Council meeting last Tuesday, so there's got to be a press conference now. Everybody needs to quarantine. It's, oh my God.
Everybody's going to die.
The sky is falling. Listen. Everybody has been around a group or a situation or an environment where somebody has tested positive, whether you realize it or not. Okay. Is it great? Is it ideal? No. But a press conference at 8:30 to talk about it, I'm telling you what, it's always like, look at the shiny object over here. Don't look at what's really going on over here.
I know what
And
all
guess
this
who?
is about.
And guess who isn't talking about this? Faisal Khan.
Of course he's not.
Dr. Fred Eccles from St. Louis City is addressing the media over what happened at a St. Louis County Council meeting. Merger. Why is Dr. Fred Eccles addressing anything in St. Louis County?
Well, I'm sure he had to step in because no one wants Khan there.
Deputy Director Spring Schmidt said the same thing, but she came in after. But why is she should be speaking, not Dr. Eccles from St. Louis City? So anyway,
maybe he can hold his composure a little bit better.
Yeah. Instead of thinking people call him brown bastards.
Right. Well, you know what this is all about.
And flipping the crowd off.
Which evidence shows is not true. He never was called anything.
Correct.
The only thing that's on camera is him flipping off the crowd outside of Chambers, which was on camera and also acknowledged by the police who were walking him out.
He was fired once before, correct?
Yes.
Or he
and
left
allegedly,
the position?
Yes, and relocated here to St. Louis.
Does anybody know why?
There are people who seem to know why. I don't personally haven't confirmed that. But I'll tell you one thing. I think that Paige is holding this press conference. I think he's talking about one case of COVID at the meeting, because I think he's trying to put the reins on Fitch, because Councilman Tim Fitch, is talking to mayors in other cities.
Yeah, he was out this weekend.
He's making his rounds, and guess what? They're listening to him.
Yeah,
and he
well, they
Page
should.
doesn't
Well,
want
Page
that.
is still saying the mask mandate is in effect.
Correct.
The governor of the state of Missouri says it is his understanding that it is not in effect because of HB 271.
Then that's who you listen to.
The state's top attorney says there is no mask mandate.
And that's who you listen to.
The St. Louis County Council, who is there for a reason, for checks and balances, and got that law approved at the state level, says there's no mask mandate.
And that's who you listen to.
And
not
that is a county
Sam
council
Page.
made up of whites and blacks, Republicans and Democrats, men and women, and 5 of the 7 say there is no mask mandate in place. Sam Page, a county executive, is the only person who says it is in place. So Tim Fitch has been talking to different communities, and they're like, yeah, it's not in place. One person turns up allegedly, and I want to know who it is. Now they're going to say they don't know who it is.
Oh, they're not going to tell us who it is.
But really, we're supposed to believe that there is one person all of a sudden. I'm sorry, in this day and age, you can't trust. You just can't trust it.
You can't trust it, because
Do
we'll
you
never
honestly
prove it.
believe 100% somebody tested
Absolutely
positive?
not.
They
Absolutely
said somebody
not.
went and got tested Thursday, and
Most people that were at that meeting would never admit to it.
bingo, you
Never.
already talked about where I was going.
If it were me, I'd be like, nope, I wasn't there.
And what are the chances that you go to this one meeting and somebody has COVID?
Exactly.
I mean,
It's just to
come
shut
on.
people up. That's all. It's more propaganda.
Well, from the Facebook line, Dr. Khan, as this person says, Khan Man, is part of an investigation. He's sticking to his story still.
But we have video evidence
Yeah.
and audio
I did a
evidence.
story on this last week. There's nothing. I looked at the videos. I put out 2 hours into it. There's zero. Nothing was ever. He was never. Here's the problem for Khan. He was never touched.
No.
And even if you couldn't hear, even if somebody was miming something to him or whispering, that he couldn't pick it up on the mics. You don't believe him because he already lied about the other story. He was never touched.
I don't believe a single thing that guy
that's
says.
the problem.
Just
And-
another sham
and
in the city.
This is what frustrates me about Sam Page, because you tread on people's back. If Sam is guarding him, Sam's lying too, because there's evidence. If Sam says it happened to him, no, it didn't, Sam. There's
Prove it.
evidence.
Prove it.
We have proof.
Not you guys.
I know, but we already have
Page
proof.
needs to prove
Nothing
it.
happened.
Khan needs to prove it.
So,
Con.
wait
needs
a
to prove
second.
it.
From the Facebook line, I went to St. Peter Schnucks and everyone was masked. What?
I've been seeing a lot of
What?
masks. A lot of masks.
I'm going making my grocery trip after the radio show.
Hey, but you
this
know what?
morning.
That's fine
I'll
with
let
me.
you know.
I'm okay with that.
Me
If you want to
too.
wear a mask, hey,
More power to you.
more power to you. Wear your mask.
Lies spread faster than wildfires from
Isn't
the
that
Facebook
true?
line. No, he was never, and from the Facebook line, there's no video of him even being touched anywhere. The entire time that he left, talking about Con, and once again, it just got onto this really quick. We're not going to stay focused on him. From the time he left the chambers to the time he left the building, there's video of him or police around him. Video shows he was never touched. Police say as soon as he walked out the doors and he was escorted, he never was touched.
No.
Nobody even came near him.
No.
It was a lie, and that's the sad thing. And then when there's an investigation going on, what does the county do now? Oh, somebody tested positive.
You got to quarantine now.
Oh, everybody that was at the meeting needs to quarantine. I mean, seriously, can you not see this going
Propaganda.
on?
That's called propaganda.
And it never stops. I'm telling you.
It never ends.
I used to try to have Sam Page's back, and now I'm like, come on. When he came out and had Khan's back on this, that's when I lost zero respect. Zero respect, because there's evidence that says it's a lie. And now when you're in a leadership role, when things go wrong, sometimes you have to, okay, you know what? You count your losses. You know,
Right.
it happened. But now you dig in more on that lie. Now you're even more going to be putting yourself in that situation. It's sad. It
is sad.
So at 8:30, I'm calling a press conference to talk about what needs to happen right now. Okay, here's the deal. Cases continue to go up. They have been. We haven't gotten the new numbers over the weekend. And by the way, the numbers that we give you on TV or that you get in public, there are 2-day lag time. So those are what current numbers are. when I left on Friday, the numbers had been high, the highest that they'd been in regards to cases and people in the hospital and in the ICU and ventilators. But guess what? On Friday, the total deaths were 3. The day before it was 3. And guess what? We're not even including or counting, and they're not giving us specific incidents of what they actually, quote, died from or just supposed to believe, they're COVID deaths.
Right.
We're not even talking about the flu anymore. And those are itty-bitty numbers compared to the amount of cases. The messaging that we're getting from the pandemic task force is, oh, my God, this is uncharted territory. Okay, we're getting the numbers. Where are the deaths? And the deaths aren't there. Now, you have 2 sides to this. One, the virus is doing what it's supposed to do. It becomes more transmissible, but less deadly. But then 2, that's because people are vaccinated. And if you're vaccinated, then you won't die. The CDC came out and said there's 0 deaths. It's a lie.
It's a lie. Someone died last week that was 33 years old of COVID.
It's probably it's probably pretty low. But we've done stories on Fox 2. There are people who have died from being fully vaccinated. I'm sorry.
Absolutely so.
There have. And now we're starting to see, Tabitha, what was the statistic you talked about in Massachusetts?
Massachusetts, COVID infections. 74% of all COVID infections in the state of Massachusetts are fully vaccinated people. And just like we said last week, the CDC reported 35,000 cases per week across the country of active COVID infection amongst fully vaccinated people. They're saying the viral loads in vaccinated people and unvaccinated people are identical.
So
no difference whatsoever.
What's the COVID count in Massachusetts?
I don't know.
The total COVID count?
In Mass. I would be interested to see that. If 74% of the population is vaccinated.
No.
74% of current COVID infections are fully vaccinated people.
Fully vaccinated, right.
So however many thousands of cases that state has.
It was about 50% in L.A.
Is that correct?
Fully vaccinated people who have the new cases. So, quote, breakthrough cases are not breakthrough. They're common. They're common.
That's
call
absolutely
common.
correct.
Of course
They're
they are.
They're not breakthrough.
They're not rare. They're not breakthrough.
They're not rare for sure.
It is common. And the CDC recent study stated, I read it, we talked about it last week, it stated that the vaccine is, for the most part, not effective against the Delta variant.
It's not. People, I'm sorry. Show us evidence that it's not, and we would love to talk about it.
Absolutely.
Honest to God, it's just not. Oh, that means we got to get another vaccine now. My pediatrician wanted to know why kids weren't vaccinated. I said, why should they?
Absolutely.
And he says, well, it's a good thing. And I said, so I gave him the whole rundown on Saturday because we had physicals on Saturday. And I explained to him what Fauci said. I gave him results. I don't think he's ever had a parent, and he knows me, a parent. And he goes, I can't disagree with you. He's like, I just can't. This guy's over in Lake St. Louis. He's not far from here either, Chris. And he said, well, wait a sec. He's like, what? I said, wait a second. Why would you? What are the, well, I still think it's a good thing if somebody were to get it.
Why?
I'm like, is it stopping it? He said, no.
No.
And then
it's
kids.
funny. It's funny you mentioned that.
And then I stopped him in his tracks. He did not have a rebut, and he's a great pediatrician outside of COVID, like most people. And then he just stopped it right there. He could not disagree with me. Yeah, I wish that we knew it better, and I wish that, and I'm not going to say his name. I'm not going to totally sell him out because I will go back. But when it comes to the COVID vaccine, he did not know. He knew about my research. He couldn't go back on anything that I gave him when it came to stats and kids. And then I talked to him about Dr. George, who we had on the show, the surgeon who told us that
Dr. Croissant.
George Croissant. I'm trying to remember, in Oklahoma City, who came on this radio show. And we'll have Dr. George back on. He's probably, I think he's still on his vacation to Greece, home country. He told us, I wouldn't have my kids do it anymore. I don't suggest any kids do it because the data and the research from the American Journal of Pediatrics shows now the risk the risk and the reward do not match up. You should not get it. And he's like, well, I'm just going with what I was told. I talked to another cardiologist Saturday night, told me the same thing. That's how I'm old. I had my 30-year reunion Saturday night. I'm catching up with you, Tabitha.
Hey, no.
Pretty soon I'll have my 45-year anniversary like you.
Oh my goodness. I'm not there yet.
I talked to a doctor this
and she's
morning.
a cardiologist, and I told her about what Dr. George said, and about pulling out more masses and lumps or clots in the last 4 to 5 months than he has in his career, and she said the same thing. And I'm like, yeah, it's happening. All right, what were you going to say, Chris?
I talked to a doctor this morning, actually. It's funny you mentioned that. I pulled up to get some gas this morning. Right in front of me, there's a car, and there's a doctor. He has scrubs on. He's putting gas in his car. So we go inside, and I said, hey, what do you think about the vaccination? And he says, it's up to the individual. I said, well, most
You
doctors...
just asked this dude at the gas station?
At the gas station, just checking out.
How'd you know he was a doctor?
He had scrubs on.
Yeah, but people who are in sales wear
right.
scrubs too, though.
Well, no, I knew right away because he had his little badge on, on his sleeve, and he says, "Well, it's up to the individual." He says, it's probably best if you get it. And I said, "Eve, do you think it'll work against the Delta variant?" And he says, "I don't know." That's what he said.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's an honest answer.
I don't know.
That is.
He says, but everybody
Go to that doctor. That is a man you can trust.
That's what he said.
But then he probably goes on to say everyone should get it.
Well, I said, I was just curious because I do a radio show in the morning, and I told him about all of us and stuff. And he says, I'm not going to talk about it. He says, because, everybody has a different opinion about the vaccination right now. And I said, so should my kids get the vaccination? And he said, absolutely not. He did tell me that.
Of course.
He did tell me that. Now, about adults, he said it was everybody's personal opinion. But when I asked him about...
Or choice.
Yeah. My son, and he said, absolutely not. So I was a little surprised about that because the next thing is Joe Biden's supposed to come out and say, well, we have vaccinations for everybody 12 and under.
No question.
Yeah.
They're going to make it mandatory. I have no doubt.
So I was a little
schools.
surprised by that answer.
And you know what? You shouldn't be surprised. You know why? Because we talked about it last week. Look at that study at Mercy Health. Fox 2 reported on it at Children's Mercy in Kansas City. Nearly 6,000 children were infected with COVID. Out of 6,000 kids, only 10 were hospitalized.
I would doubt that 6,000 kids came down with COVID. That would be the number of
that
all
would be a
numbers.
Lot. That would be a lot, but that is what they reported.
The last line of the report said, but 10 people are what, hospitalized?
Hospitalized. Only 10 kids out of 6,000.
But that wasn't the headline. It's sad.
Were hospitalized.
Damn, that's a fast first block. That's what we do here. It's the Morning Edge. The fastest 2 hours of morning talk radio. We got to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we're going to continue to talk about this. Plus, give you some, and we appreciate the Facebook line. We're already seeing some people give some ideas of what happens when you get the vaccine and when you don't. Sam Page, press conference, 8:30. Don't look at what's actually going on over here. We want you to look at one person. Seriously, one person. Maybe. We don't even know who this. We're told one person got sick, got COVID.
Prove it.
At the St. Louis County Council meeting where they voted Sam Page's mask mandate out. Now they're saying everybody that was there needs to quarantine so they can't come back and talk at any meetings. I don't know. We'll see. But there's so much to get into. Plus, we got Olympics to talk about. We've got, the U.S. women's team is done. They're out. I know a lot of people that were really watching that. Anyway, the infrastructure bill looks like it's going to go through. We'll get into that. Also, some very interesting numbers regarding Joe Biden and his positivity ratings. They're not good. They are way, way, way low. Is this a sign that Democrats are worried about? We got a lot to get into over the next hour and a half. You're listening to The Edge. You can give us a call, too, if you want, 636-695-2915. Of course, you can take us on the go with you, ViperRocks.com. Chris blew my mind how many people actually listened last month on ViperRocks.com. And, of course, on Facebook, 100.7 The Viper. The one and only Edge, back right after this.
Grab your coffee. The Morning Edge will be right back on 100.7 The Viper.
Hi, this is Eric Joya, sales manager at the all-new Travers Automotive and RV at I-70 and TR Hughes. I'm personally inviting you to come see our awesome selection of pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs. Travers Automotive and RV has the largest inventory of lifted trucks and Jeep Wranglers in the market. Our new location also has RVs from Mesa Ridge and Open Range, and a huge selection of pre-owned as well. Come see me and my team at Travers Automotive and RV, I-70 at TR Hughes, TraversAutoandRV.com.
Hi, this is Curtis Barks. I am the owner of Complete Auto Body and Repair. Family owned and operated since 1973. We've seen a lot of storms. We know what we're doing. We're here to help. Complete Auto Body and Repair has multiple locations in the St. Louis area that handles hail damage and storm damage. So if you've had an issue or have an experience where you had to turn in a claim, please reach out to us. We'll handle all the red tape. We are Complete Auto Body and Repair. We handle everything from start to finish. If it's not perfect, it's not complete. Others can't compete with Complete Auto Body.
Dad, and service!
Oh yeah, and service.
Today, I'm taking it to the streets to give people the good news. Oh, excuse me, hello. I'm Flo from Progressive, and did you know...
No, I'm just waiting for the bus.
So then you have time to hear about how with Home Quote Explorer, you can check if you're paying too much for home insurance.
Yeah, if I was interested in talking to you, which I'm not.
Okay, I'll do the talking, and you just check if you can be saving, which is going to be pretty hard to do if you put on your headphones. Okay.
See if you're paying too much for home insurance with Home Quote Explorer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations.
Spectrum Glass is known for their quality work on windshields, but they do so much more. Spectrum Glass also specializes in residential, commercial, and automotive window tinting. Reduce the heat, reduce the fading, and increase your comfort with professional window tinting from Spectrum Glass. Serving St. Charles and surrounding counties since 1995, Spectrum Glass is still your premier company for windshield replacement. And with free mobile service, they come to you. 636-294-1800 on Facebook and SpectrumGlassOnline.com.
Weber Chevrolet has been in business since 1902. No other car dealer in St. Louis of any brand can say that. Nobody sells more Chevrolet, period. Weber Chevrolet is one dealer with 3 roofs. In Missouri at Olive and 270, and in Illinois Metro East, Columbia, and Granite City. All easy to get to, just follow the 270 loop. Also, all online accessible at WeberChevrolet.com. Right now, Weber Chevrolet is open but very thorough in their cleaning, disinfecting, and social distancing rules. And don't forget, Weber Chevrolet service departments are award-winning and second to none. In fact, other dealers send their problems to Weber Chevy to fix. Now during this crisis, Weber Chevrolet has teamed up with Detroit to come up with awesome deals to help people save money and manage their budget. Discounts, incentives, and the ability to not make your payment for up to 4 months. Weber Chevrolet since 1902, WeberChevrolet.com.
Hey everyone, it's Brian Dawson with Brian Dawson Roofing and Construction. I'm here to remind you it's time for exterior work on your home, so call me. I deal and work with all insurance companies. I also do non-insurance work as well. I know it's your money and your castle. I want and will do what it takes to make you happy with whatever it is that you want done. Roofing, siding, gutters, windows, and if I don't do it, I know somebody who does. So call me, Brian Dawson.
At 636-465-9465 or visit BrianDawsonRoofing.com.
You want a great job, and you want it now. Steel and Pipe in Jonesburg is hiring warehouse specialists right now for second and third shifts. Get great pay and awesome benefits like production bonuses, 401k with employer match, and paid holidays, plus medical, dental, vision, and supplementary insurance. Find out more and apply online at steelandpipe.com. Steel and Pipe in Jonesburg is looking for the right people right now. Apply in person or online at steelandpipe.com.
Here comes more of the Edge Morning Show.
Hey, welcome back to the show. You're listening to The Edge. Chris Knight's here. Tabitha Hassell's here. I'm Vic Faust of Fox 2. I am here. Eric Johnson has walked into the studio. Eric Johnson's here now.
He's in so much trouble.
He get his big cup of coffee. I love this show. I mean, dude, we do kick ass on this show. I'm sorry. We do. No, we all do.
You guys.
He deserves to be
You guys do a
silenced.
good job.
I love it. I mean, I love because we talk about all the issues you don't hear on the news and in the other radio stations. You just don't.
Nope.
And we do it with our vibe, our style.
And we have
Our
such a nice
flavor.
little family.
Yeah.
We have so many people that stop by the St. Charles County Fair to say hello.
You
on
have
Friday
just been on a
nights.
rampage against me for the last 48 hours.
No Show
48
Johnson.
hours, 72 hours.
No Show Johnson.
I hope you
You
had
think
fun.
you're DC? You just show up whenever you want.
Damn!
What the?
I didn't know it was going to be this bad.
I waited
Oh,
for
I
you.
know.
You're like, I'm going to be there at 5 o'clock. No, Eric.
I wanted to be out there. You guys know that.
I was there by myself for a while.
You know when you want some, like, I don't know, cereal, and you get a little bowl, but you want more cereal? Well, that's the way it was on Friday. That the bowl was time. I just didn't have time. I wanted to do everything.
You could actually
wanted
send
to go,
a text and say, hey, I'm not coming.
I wanted to go work out on Friday. I couldn't.
Hey, Chris.
I wanted to. I had
Same page presser's coming up while Eric gives this.
No,
this
I'm done.
excuse, okay?
No, I'm. No,
Oh,
that's
you're
all.
not done.
I'm done.
You
I'm-
are not
That's all I wanted to
done.
say.
Are there any women in your life happy with you, Eric? I mean, I'm a female. I'm pretty aggravated with you right now.
Are you sure you're a female?
Last time I looked.
All right.
I'm okay. I'm done teasing you now.
Damn, Tabitha.
I'm done.
It's time to
teasing
get
you
back
now.
to COVID.
But it is true that Eric.
That's not funny, Tabitha, because I know how that feels.
I know. I'm just teasing Eric. I'm totally teasing him, and I'm only saying that because I'm the only girl here.
Are you sure?
Well, I'm not sure on that one, but I am sure that I am a girl. I only brought it up because seriously, there were a lot of ladies who stopped by looking for you, who wanted to take photos with you on Friday,
Yeah.
and you weren't there. They were very disappointed to see me when
Well,
they were looking
Eric-
for
well,
you.
Eric's-
Disappointed to see you. You're the star of the show. Why the hell are they going to be?
Not. I am far from that. But I met so many amazing, fun people at the St. Charles
Yeah.
County Fair that tell me they listen to the show every single day. And I won't mention their names because I don't know that they would want their names to be public. And if they do, they can call in. Amazing, nice people.
Well, Eric, how was your weekend?
It was fantastic.
How was what is it? Metal Studs? or
Metal
something?
Studs. Yes,
Metal
it was a rock
St-
show.
Okay,
couple of
that
rock
was
shows.
what, Friday night?
Yeah.
And then you had
And then PRL was the night
Saturday,
after.
okay.
Yeah, it was good.
Which one of you is the stud?
Well, stop. It would be Will, but it's not. That's beside the point. All right,
Chris, are you happy yet?
I wasn't expecting this. I
You're,
wasn't.
you're grilling Eric.
She did great. You did great.
It's like
Tabitha.
you two had
You
this
did
set
great.
and planned and
I know.
ready. They talked it over to grill Eric.
I know.
I bet next time you'll show up, won't you?
I show up all the time, all the time. So I'm sorry, but you know, I like
You
I said,
disappointed your
like I
fans.
wanted a big bowl of cereal. I only had a little teeny bowl. I could only
Yeah, I
put
was going
enough
to finish
cereal.
that analogy, please.
Because time is a bowl. You only have it's a funnel. You can only put so much stuff in there before you can't put any more stuff in there. And
So you're saying we're not number one?
it's not that you're not number one.
We don't even fit in the funnel.
Wow, I just got beat. I just got my ass beat this morning. I appreciate it. That's okay. Sometimes you win, sometimes you
It's
lose.
all right. I'm not giving you any NASCAR tickets.
Yeah, that's Tabitha Hassell there. Eric Johnson's here, Chris and Big Faust. If you want to give us a call, you can. Phone number 636-695-2915. You can catch us at viperrocks.com. You can also get us on Facebook, 100.7 The Viper. And, of course, join the show as you want to with all the interaction that's going on. Okay. There's a lot to get to. Eric, real quick, I know you're probably happy about this. Happy but not happy. The American women's soccer team got shut out, lost, not even in the medal round. They lose in the semis to Canada.
Unbelievable.
They lost to Canada.
Unbelievable.
Is Paige up now, Chris, or is it just ready?
I think he is. Let me check.
All right. Sam Page having a presser because apparently the world is falling down now. The world is falling down because one person allegedly got COVID at the county council meeting last Tuesday. At least that's what we're being told now. We're being told. So everybody that was there needs a quarantine. Does that mean that no matter where you are now, if you're around somebody that gets the variant or COVID, now you have to quarantine? This is the one and only time? When's the last time you've been told you had to, quote, quarantine because you were around somebody that got COVID?
Here we go.
It's not happening anywhere. But that's where I'm like, just like I've always said, be consistent in your messaging, be consistent in your actions. Don't make crap up as you go because it might help you allegedly from a political standpoint.
It's not. This is hurting him.
I agree.
It is hurting. Fitch is looking like a rock star
Well,
right
Fitch
now.
was looking like a rock star.
Is.
No
That's a
question.
fact, whether people like that or not.
Well, the whole board is looking like a rock star right now. He's representing those guys, going county to county to county, saying, "Look, this guy's a clown. It's over. There's no mask
City
mandate."
to city, yeah. As a matter of fact, he was in Bridgeton the other day, and Bridgeton said, "Guess what? We're going to follow the county council. There's going to be no mask mandate
Yeah,
in Bridgeton."
well, we're going to get Pages on. Are we going to get him, Chris, or is it? Are we not?
As was seen last Tuesday night. Masks can help us slow the virus and keep our businesses open and our schools on track to open in an in-classroom learning environment. St. Louis County's mask requirement is an easy way to make a big difference. Yes, it's unfortunate that many of those Tuesday night ignored the law, but that's what happened. And as a result, this is where we are. To make a big difference. Yes, it's unfortunate that many of those Tuesday night ignored the law, but that's what happened. And as a result, this is where we are. Wondering how many people were exposed to the virus and how many people will become sick from the virus. It's time to stop the name calling, the intimidation, and the spreading of misinformation. It's time to work together. This variant is a real threat to our community and our country. The anger, real and process, must end if we want this pandemic to end. The investigation into Tuesday night's meeting and the treatment of Dr. Khan is ongoing. We have asked for all video that captured what happened inside the chambers and in the lobby. Many people who attended the meeting were taking photos and videos. We hope they come forward to help us with our investigation. The virus is raging. We must take it seriously and put steps in place to curb it. In the past 2 months, we have seen our cases rise at alarming levels. 2 months ago, we were around 40 cases a day. We are now at 274 cases per day. Early in the summer, our infection rate was 2.9%. Today, it's 11.4%. We need more people getting tested. We need more people getting the vaccine. And we need to unite against this 100-year event. The longer we fight public health decisions, the longer the pandemic continues to have the upper hand. Thank you for joining me here today.
In your backyard, I'm about ready to go make some pancakes over here.
Okay, well, here's
grill.
what you got coming out of that.
Nothing.
Sam Page doubling down that Faisal Khan is telling the truth, even though video shows he is not. You have Sam Page doubling down against people who were at the county council meeting. You have Sam Page doubling down on his mask mandate, saying that the mask work when even the CDC's own numbers show they only slowed transmission nationally, maybe somewhere between 0.03 and like 0.08%. You also don't have Sam Page talking about almost zero deaths. You have Sam Page not saying our hospital leaders, the CEOs of these hospitals, the CEOs of these hospitals did not, they took all the Federal CARES Act money, but they have not been creative in getting more beds open. You drive by that big old Mercy Hospital, you drive by that big BJ, guess what? That hospital is not full with COVID patients. They say of the beds that they have available, they got rid of all their staffs, people. The hospital should take all that COVID money they got. They should put that air system in that kills COVID. They have it at Hotel St. Louis, for God's sakes. Why can't you put it in the hot? Take some of that $25 million you got, BJC, or some. It's simple. You pay people enough money to get them back into the rooms to work the beds, then you don't have hospitals that are apparently full. I get frustrated because I cover this stuff. Be truthful. Black and white issues. And don't tell people that they're in danger because they were in a group of where allegedly one person got COVID.
Right.
And from the Facebook line, county council members would like to know who it is. They're not being told. It could be a sham.
Of course it could be a sham.
No, here's the deal. Here's what I got
And
out
if
of it.
you-
I got the same thing that you did. He was trying to cover Khan's ass.
Khan. Yes, he is.
He was trying to cover his ass. His ass has been uncovered. He flipped people off. We
We
saw
can
that.
all watch the video and
We
see
saw
that
that.
no one touched him.
No one has touched him. There's
No one touched
there's
him.
no evidence that anyone's touched
And the
him.
police who
said anything
escorted
to
him from the building
have said there's
already-
nothing.
Nobody
Yeah,
came anywhere
there would have been a
near him.
report.
And the police said nobody said anything racist to him either when he was outside of chambers. This is why I'm frustrated, because I'm always like, everybody should have their say. But if
he's
we start
lying.
to see as journalists that there's evidence that show that there's a lie, you have to call it out.
Yes, it's a lie. And then the second part, the takeaway was, we have to all work together. You didn't want to work together. You didn't do this. You didn't sit down with the council with a bunch of data saying, this council members, I present this to you. We are all on the same team. Let's have a mask mandate. If they would have done that, if Fitch would have gone, yeah, I saw the data, it's pretty jacked up. And if Fitch would have said, we have to do a mask mandate and we got to do more things to keep this down, everyone in this room would have been like, okay, that sounds good to me. You came in like a marauding clown. Now nobody trusts you anymore. You have been the boy that has cried wolf for 18 months in St. Louis County. We're over it. We're over mask mandates. No more masks in gyms. No more masks to go out to dinner. We're done. And Fitch is going from county to county to county to county, and everyone's agreeing with him. They're like, yeah, we agree. We're done.
Yeah.
That is he's got to go.
City to city, not county to county.
Whatever. City to city.
The other interesting thing. My gym. This is awesome. Over there, the Lifetime that we had called that was so hardcore about mask mandates before, guess what? They don't have one.
Good.
Is that right?
And it's awesome. And it's awesome.
What do they say?
People there trying to be healthy, trying to breathe normally, almost everybody vaxxed, enjoying life to the best of their ability, not being forced to wear a mask.
Unless they want to.
Which
is how it should be.
In Sam's backyard. Whereas before they had Sam's back. Now they don't, because it's clear. There is no mask mandate in place, according to the governor, according to the state's top attorney.
It's over.
According to county council. Yeah. There's only one person who says it is. That's Sam Page. And he's doing everything he can. And he is really, really hurt by what happened Tuesday night. And you see it now.
So
he
what?
Is angry. His ego's been crushed. And he is sad. He doesn't know what to do. He is now and I know him personally, and I believe that in the beginning he really wanted to help people and felt like he was. But when you start defending a man where there is evidence that he is lying, you have lost all control.
Yes.
I think it was like that in the beginning. I think he cared in the beginning. I think it's been nothing but political slams since then.
He's a leader of if look, no one on this show is above it.
This show. It just I'm frustrated by his defending in COVID, which is real, the variant, which is real. People can't
There's a
get
difference
really sick,
between COVID
and he's bringing
defending
Faisal Khan into this.
Exactly. Look, there's a difference between COVID and saying I'm trying to do the right thing and defending some schmuck doctor from Pakistan, and that's all he's doing. The schmuck doctor flipped off St. Louis County. You're not even from here, fool. Get out of here. Bye. You're spent. Get a guy in there from Mercy that is kind of look, my doctor. He looked at me and said, I go, do I need to get the Pfizer vaccine? He goes, have you had COVID? I go, yes, I have. He goes, well, here's the pros, here's the cons. I recommend you don't. That's what my doctor said to me. He didn't come after me like, you need to get it. This is what we need.
About my conversation?
Yes, I did.
With my
incredible
kid's pediatrician.
Yeah, but I had a theory about that too. These guys don't.
He has to do it.
Right, but these guys.
Of course they do.
He's a Mercy
He's
doc.
a doctor.
He has to.
I understand.
And he said everything that I told him was correct.
No, I think
my doctor
he
has
told
never asked me.
He was frustrated by the messaging from Dr. Fauci. He told me he was frustrated that the vaccine does not stop you from getting COVID when we were told, because he was telling people that this will stop you from getting. Now everybody who said, oh, well, we have to get the vaccine because it's going to stop. Now they have had to go back. Now it's like, okay, well, it can make you not as sick. And I think there's some evidence of that.
And I believe that's true
for
some people.
That's okay. That's cool. But don't you get the feeling that these doctors are reading just the same literature that, I don't know, the Edge is reading every morning?
Yes.
And they're
told to push the vaccine. There's no question.
It's like, you're great. You're a doctor. Yeah, you know how to administer all these drugs from all these pharmaceutical companies, and you understand what, inflammation is. But really, in general, as a doctor, is what I'm learning, you're only getting the same brochures that we're getting about COVID. You're reading the same literature. So we are kind of in the same boat with all of this stuff together. You might know a little bit more about viral loads and all that crap, but ultimately...
They're reading the same studies we're reading. You are absolutely correct.
And ultimately, they're not...
Unless they're on the front lines, which most doctors are not.
Right, and these doctors aren't seeing the literature about inflammation of the heart. They're not seeing the literature about... Or they're not
Well, they
looking
should
at
be
it.
seeing it.
And they're not seeing the...
but they can't talk about it.
The blood clotting and...
But even when my son went there, because they go in first, then they call me in. My son texted me. He's like, Dad, they're asking for my vaccine card.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Wow.
I was like, what? Why would they be asking?
That can't be right.
What? Why? I mean,
has he been vaccinated?
And they
Obviously
get into
not.
that whole situation. Why would they be asking for that?
I don't know. I go to 2 different cardiologists. Not one of them has said one word to me about a vaccine.
The pressure that you go when you go to a doctor's office is insane.
And
it is off the chart.
Maybe it depends on the network too.
I'm going to ask.
I just don't think people are fully educated, as we said when we had Dr. George on. It just educate, do what you want, but make sure you're educated.
I'm going to ask Tabitha
Don't just go with the flow on everything that's going on, because right now it's insane what's going on, because nobody really knows because of all of the craziness that's happened with the vaccine. And we've talked about it over and over and over again. But Eric, I had to say this though, from the Facebook line, one of our viewers, and I think I see the name here occasionally, said boyfriend, girlfriend, both got COVID again. One had the vaccine, one didn't.
Yeah.
The one who had the vaccine did not get as sick. The one who did not get the vaccine got much sicker.
Did they have COVID
but
before?
they did not go to the hospital.
Did they have COVID before?
I don't know.
Okay.
And I think that makes a big difference if you've had COVID in the past.
Okay, so here's my point. I want the next study that comes out, because you never hear about I had COVID, but now I have COVID again. What is that breakthrough rate? Because
no one will talk about it.
I want that number.
No one will discuss.
I want that number.
Natural immunity. You won't hear the topic discussed from anyone. I had an eye doctor appointment a couple weeks ago. Now it was an ophthalmologist, and he asked me, "Have you been vaccinated?" And I said, "No, because I've already had COVID. I don't need to be vaccinated. I have natural immunity."
Why is no one talking about that?
And he gave me the look of death.
Why is no one talking about that?
No, that wasn't the look of death. That was the look of confusion, because they don't get it.
Obviously, he did not get it.
Because you want to...
And I shouldn't say they. There are some who do, but the messaging starts, and we've already talked about the psychology of messaging. Once you start to hear the same message over and over and over again, even if you know something not to be the case, if you continue to hear it, and I know this from my business, you start to hear it, and it's like, okay, then subconsciously it moves in. Then you start to believe, okay, well, oh my God, you've got to get the vaccine, or you've got to do this. I never heard about immunity. Yeah, and once again, we've talked about it. Just look up the Washington University study.
Yes,
exactly.
Once again, it's from May 12th.
It's a natural injection.
And start sending this out. Washington University study on immunity from COVID. The study even states, even a mild case shows that there's a good chance you'll have lifetime immunity from COVID. For Washington University.
I think that
but you don't unfortunately get to. I just want all the news, all the information, all the facts need to be out there. Then make your decision.
And then you can't even quantify it, because I'm assuming, I'm going to make up a number, but at least 50% of people who had COVID never reported it to their doctor. Maybe more. So you can't
Dr.
even...
Garza even said that from the St. Louis Pandemic Task Force.
The only card that I can get is a loss of taste and smell card. I can get that card. Doesn't mean I had it's ridiculous, because I'm starting to think, I want to know people that have had COVID, they got better, and then boom, they got COVID again. I never hear that as a stat.
I have one friend that had a pretty bad case of COVID, was better for like 6 months, and then had COVID again and had very similar symptoms. You're not going to die. Time did she end
you know
up in
what?
the
I had the cold 2 years ago, and then 2 years later, I got the cold again. Guess what? I didn't die. It sucked. I couldn't sing. My nose got inflamed, and then I had the runny sniffles. It is a thing now that we have to deal with. Look at Lollapalooza over the weekend. Tens of thousands of people, but more importantly, the mayor of Chicago comes out, who is, saying everyone needs to wear a mask. Except for Lollapalooza.
Yeah, but they all had to be vaccinated to get in.
Okay, fine. Fantastic.
No, they didn't.
I thought they told them they either had to be vaccinated or test negative for COVID.
Bingo. That's it. That's important, though.
Yes, it is important. Or test negative.
for
Fantastic.
COVID, not just vaccinated.
Correct.
Point being, no one's scared of it anymore. No one is afraid of this thing anymore. It is a thing. It's not a thing of the past. It's very serious. There's people being hospitalized today in St. Louis, Missouri. 3 deaths is too many, but it's 3 deaths. We don't know the status of these people. They might have had hypertension. They might have had cancer. Who knows what they really had? Who knows what they really died of? But the thing about it is, we are, as a people, Sam Page, I'm talking to you. Listen to me. Sit down. We're not afraid of this anymore. We're going to live our lives. We're going to live our lives in St. Louis County.
That's dangerous, Eric.
Fantastic. When I need an anesthesiologist, I'll come to you, but not as an executive. I'm sorry that's.
You're okay with him being your anesthesiologist?
I would trust him with that. It sounds like does how many people have he killed?
Eric from the Facebook line. Piers Morgan, fully vaccinated and got Delta. Very sick right now. He's tweeting about it.
So what's the point? Then the vaccine doesn't work.
I don't think it does work
We
against
know
the
that
Delta
it
variant.
doesn't work against the Delta variant. I think it's pretty
We
clear by
do?
now.
Don't go look at.
Were you not listening to the show today?
Don't go listen to the Sunday morning television shows who have millions of more viewers than we do. I mean,
because they're propaganda spreaders. They
That's
are being
not
paid by
because
the government.
that's not because the content is better. That's for sure.
I didn't say it was better. I'm saying that you have these guys that are just slipping out of their white
That's
lab
called
coats.
State-ran media.
Here, one of your heroes, Eric Ricky Rocket, got fully vaccinated, got COVID.
I don't know if it's a hero, but
I have no idea who Ricky Rocket is.
Of course you don't, Tabitha.
It's a thing.
I'm okay with that because I don't know.
It's a thing. COVID is a thing, guys. I'm sorry. We're gonna have more cases of it. Some of the people that are listening to this show right now, you guys might have COVID and not even know it.
And I can't find flu numbers.
You can't?
No.
Call up St. Charles Health Department right now. See what's going on in the
can't
county.
find flu numbers, and flu is still here. It did not disappear. Okay.
We already know what's going on. We just said last week on the show, we've read reports about it, that the PCR testing is being canceled in December because it cannot differentiate between the flu and COVID.
Yeah. Tabitha, can you repeat that again for our listeners?
Yes.
That's why I brought
As
this
of
up.
December, PCR tests will no longer be offered because the PCR test cannot differentiate between the flu and COVID.
Is that right?
That is correct.
I will say this. A friend of mine took that, what is it called? The whatever that one that you get at Walgreens is?
Binax.
Binax, thank you. Full-blown COVID. Not, sitting on the couch, lost his smell. It came back negative. It doesn't work. I go, you have COVID, right? He goes, oh, dude, I've got COVID. Let me tell you. He goes, that stupid thing that you get at Walgreens, it doesn't work. So none of these testing things are it's that the world does not have control of this thing. And they're never going to have control of this
thing. I want to know I get a blood test.
And if you want to go to dinner down in the Central West End, go to dinner. My God. You're going to go.
Well, that's the city. You'll have to wear your mask.
Okay, go to Helen Fitzgerald's then. That's the county, right? There you go. It's over, guys. Concerts are going to continue. Late night living is going to continue. It's over. No matter what Sam Page says, it's over.
And there are some who are pushing, and we started to see the end of it last week in St. Louis City and Kansas City, requiring you to be vaccinated to go into restaurants. Now I'm like, well, what good does it do anyway? Because now, guess what? Unvaccinated are not spreading the disease. Vaccinated amongst vaccinated are spreading the virus. It's not just unvaccinated. It's vaccinated to vaccinated. That's the next level.
You know what it is? Eventually it's going to be all vaccination spread because guess what? All of us who've not been vaccinated have natural immunity.
So the only reason to get the vaccine now is to protect yourself from possible severe conditions.
That's good enough for me.
It's not.
I'm fine with that.
It's not.
I'm not getting it. But
getting the vaccine is not saving somebody else. I'm sorry.
No, it's like
which is why it does become a personal choice. You're not helping the person next to you by getting the vaccine.
No.
It's like, here's a shield. You
can
can
I
have
repeat,
it.
You are not when you look at the evidence, you're not helping.
Yes.
That whole message has been blown to pieces.
It's over. Protect yourself if you want to.
So that messaging is a flat out lie. It is outdated. So now we have to go back to the drawing board.
And you know what sucks? You want to know?
We were told if we got vaccinated, we wouldn't be in the situation
check this
that
out.
we are.
Natural immunity does stop the COVID virus. If you have natural immunity, it comes in, it's dead within your body. It's called a T1,
Potentially for a
killer
lifetime.
T1 cell for a lifetime. So if you have had COVID-19, you might be a barrier to giving it to someone else. If you have the vaccine, doesn't look so much like that's so.
And this is why on Mondays we talk a lot. We're pent up over the weekend, and there's always a lot to talk about. Okay, when we come back, we'll continue to talk about this situation. Maybe some very, very, very concerning numbers for the Biden administration when it comes to Joe Biden and what the American public think about the job that's going on. We'll get into that more. We'll talk Olympics, a lot of crazy stuff going on there. Somebody wants us to address the mask wearing at Busch Stadium. You can catch us on Facebook, 100.7 The Viper. Share the show. We're back on YouTube. Our first grounding is over. YouTube at The Edge Morning Show.
We'll be done by the end of today. We'll be off again.
You can also get us at ViperRocks.com. I couldn't believe how many people actually listened to us there last month. Okay, Eric Johnson, Chris and I, Tabitha Hassell. I'm Vic Faust of Fox. Our call-in number as well, 636-695-2915. There's a lot going on. We're getting it to you. Back with your morning headlines, plus more of this talk. Thanks for listening to The Edge. Fastest 2 hours of morning talk radio. Back right after this. It's 8:54.
Start as early as the other shows because we're a lot smarter.
Hi, Conrad Bellman at Bellman's Car Nection in St. Peters. Right now, we're paying top dollar for your pre-owned vehicle. At Bellman Car Nection, we'll take anything on trade, van, Jeep, truck. Spring into a quality pre-owned car, truck, Jeep, SUV, or van today. The inventory is always fresh, so hurry in today before someone else buys the one you want. Bellman's Car Nection in St. Peters at Highway 70 and 370, where you will never pay the max. Online at carnection.com.
The Troy Area Chamber of Commerce presents the 16th Annual Memories on Main Car Show in Troy, Saturday, August 7th, rain or shine. Main Street in Troy will come alive with great cars, music, food, and much more. Registration runs from 8 a.m. until noon, and awards at 3 p.m. Dash Black for the first 200 registrations. For more information and registration, call 462-8769. That's 462-TROY. Visit TroyOnTheMove.com or like the Troy Chamber on Facebook. The 16th Annual Memories on Main Street Car Show in Troy, Saturday, August 7th. Be there.
Good morning, privates! Good morning, Drill Sergeant! I mean, seriously, what a pleasant morning. The sun is shining and the birds are chirping. You seem to be in a good mood today. Astute observation, Private. Astute.
He's probably happy because he found out Honey Nut Cheerios can help lower cholesterol as part of a heart-healthy diet.
So, in lieu of the obstacle course today, I propose a nice meditative nature walk. Does that sound delightful to everyone? Yes, Drill Sergeant!
Have a change of heart with Honey Nut Cheerios. Learn more about Honey Nut Cheerios by picking up a box at your local store.
Fever is a leading symptom of the coronavirus, so take your temperature twice a day with the Exergen Temporal Scanner. It's quick and easy to use, and its accuracy is backed by more than 80 clinical studies. Have your family start and end their day with the only home thermometer used and recommended by hospitals, doctors, and nurses. Your family can take their temperatures in seconds to know where they stand in the fight against COVID-19. Protect your family from the spread of this deadly disease and stay safe with Exergen.
Now another hour of The Edge Morning Show on KFNS Troy St. Charles. The Edge Morning Show.
One of the things we're so dependent upon is our automobiles. There's no worse feeling when you go out to your car and it won't start. Oh, man. Tired of trying to find an honest, reliable mechanic for your car and truck? Town and County Garage in Wright City has kept the Westplex on the road since 1972. The biggest compliment to a company is repeat customers and referrals. When you need honest, reliable, and affordable auto repair from inspections, brakes to engine work, call Town and County Garage in Wright City, 636-745-3626.
Spectrum Glass is known for their quality work on windshields, but they do so much more. Spectrum Glass also specializes in residential, commercial, and automotive window tinting. Reduce the heat, reduce the fading, and increase your comfort with professional window tinting from Spectrum Glass. Serving St. Charles and surrounding counties since 1995, Spectrum Glass is still your premier company for windshield replacement. And with free mobile service, they come to you. 636-294-1800 on Facebook and SpectrumGlassOnline.com.
This is Tabitha with a message from Rincon Technical College. Fall semester begins on August 23rd. You can earn a certificate or a degree in as little as 9 months. On average, each student has more than 5 job opportunities when they graduate. With Rincon's apprenticeship programs, you are placed in a job and you work while you learn. Technical careers have starting salaries up to $60,000 per year, and 80% of Rankin students receive financial aid to help cover tuition, books, and tools. Check out rankin.edu to register for fall classes.
Weber Chevrolet has been in business since 1902. No other car dealer in St. Louis of any brand can say that. Nobody sells more Chevrolet, period. Weber Chevrolet is one dealer with 3 roofs. In Missouri at Olive and 270, and in Illinois Metro East, Columbia, and Granite City. All easy to get to, just follow the 270 loop. Also, all online accessible at WeberChevrolet.com. Right now, Weber Chevrolet is open but very thorough in their cleaning, disinfecting, and social distancing rules. And don't forget, Weber Chevrolet service departments are award-winning and second to none. In fact, other dealers send their problems to Weber Chevy to fix. Now during this crisis, Weber Chevrolet has teamed up with Detroit to come up with awesome deals to help people save money and manage their budget. Discounts, incentives, and the ability to not make your payment for up to 4 months. Weber Chevrolet since 1902, WeberChevrolet.com.
The Edge Morning Show. Back in a moment.
Viper Weather with legendary chief meteorologist Dave Murray.
Hi, this is Viper meteorologist Dave Murray. We are off and running in the month of August, and what a week we have. A top 10 week of weather coming up across the region. Plenty of sunshine on this Monday. Beautiful out the door this morning, and only 80 degrees for the high this afternoon. Tonight, clear skies and nice. Take it down to 59 degrees. We actually have a dry, cool front coming through tonight. That will reinforce the cool air, the northwest flow. Tuesday, sunny skies, 80 degrees. Wednesday, sunny, 82. Thursday, partly sunny, 85. And Friday, knocking on the door of 90 under partly sunny skies. No big rains, no big storms in sight. From the Viper Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray. Now back to the Edge on 100.7, The Viper.
Whipper River Electric, a Touchstone Energy cooperative. The Edge Morning Show.
Local headlines now with Fox 2's Vic Faust.
All right, let's talk about some sports, national headlines and local first, starting off. Okay. The Cardinals picked up a couple pitchers at the end of last week, but let's be honest. They're done. I've been telling everybody for over a month. They're done. I know we love our Cardinals. They're done. All right? They didn't do what they needed to do. They did not play well this year. They had injuries. They win 6 out of their last 10 games, so 6-4. They just take 2 or 3 from the Twins, and guess what? They lose ground. They're 9.5 games out of first. The Cardinals are done. And they better get serious again this offseason, and they better figure out how to get something done with that team because they fall further and further behind the leaders in the National League, and they're getting serious players. The Cardinals are not. Okay, done with that. Eric, the United States women's soccer team, for all the headlines, for all the kneeling, for all the social justice, for everything, they just lost in the semifinals. They didn't even make the medal round. It's sad. It's discouraging.
No, it's not. I'll explain after you.
And
your
18 of their main players are what's described in soccer as getting older. 18. They're much older.
Give me the ball. I'll kick it in.
They're done. They just got shot. They couldn't even score a goal against Canada.
That's not why they lost, but I'll explain later.
Okay, so they lose as well. Simone Biles will be back. She's going to compete in one of her individual apparatuses tomorrow, so that's good news. We'll see where that goes. I still don't think enough credit's being given to Suni Lee, who won the overall title, so that's that. Okay, Sam Page had a press conference this morning. We talked about it, basically reminding everybody you need to wear a mask mandate, that the mask mandate's in effect, even though the governor, the attorney general, and county council say no, that's not true. Okay. Many air travelers have been delayed at Spirit Airlines. They've had a bunch of flights canceled. So if you have flights there, make sure you check it out before you head over there. Around 3,000 St. Louis renters are at risk for eviction now because eviction moratorium has ended. We'll get into that as well. Sorry, let's look at your morning headlines. I'm Vic Faust.
The Edge Morning Show.
Yeah. Now you're cooking. Name this band, Tabitha. You got this. If you can name this band, I will give you a $100 bill. Turn her on.
I know the song. I can't think
$100 bill.
Because she doesn't know who this band is.
No, you can do this. It's popular enough to where you can get this $100 bill.
I know it's not the Cars.
Ooh, but so close.
Oh.
Yeah, but so close.
Oh.
Come on.
It is the Cars.
No, it's not the Cars.
It's not
the
the
name of
Cars.
the name of the song is
Cars.
Cars.
Yeah, I was going to say.
The name
There
of
you
the
go.
song is Cars.
Cars.
It's not the band.
Who's the band?
Who's the band?
Or the guy.
That
I
Rick
should say.
Ocasek guy?
No.
Well, he's the singer for the Cars.
It's Gary. It's
Tabitha.
Gary Newman. One of these
Oh,
days,
I
you're-
have no idea. I've
one-
never heard of Gary Newman.
One of
ever
these
in
days,
my
you
life. I would have never guessed that.
Gary Newman.
Who is Gary Newman?
I got
Oh
it.
my God.
He was in
You got
ABBA.
it.
He was in ABBA for
Look
a
at
while.
Vic. He's got a headache.
I have no idea who
Vic,
Gary Newman
I got
is.
aspirin for you, buddy.
People were telling me I could have cheated. People were commenting.
Yeah, that's
what.
But I didn't want to cheat.
Just stop it, Eric.
But
So who in the world is Gary Newman? What band is he
I
in?
read these reads right.
Hey, now.
They love me, not you.
They do love me and not
just,
you.
Just chink it out.
We're
So
just trying to help
Who
you.
is Gary Newman?
That you're fixated on that still?
Yes, I want to know who it is. I love the Cars. They're one of my favorite bands.
It's not the
I
Cars.
don't-
It has nothing to do with it. The name of the song.
I understand that, but Chris said it was like the
Okay.
Cars.
Maybe
And
I should stop
can
doing that. My
actually
blood
see-
pressure goes
Welcome
up.
back to The Edge. Eric Johnson, Chris Knight, Tabitha Hassell, and Vic Faust of Fox 2. If you want to give us a call, you can. 636-695-2915. You can also catch us on Facebook, of course, 100.7 The Viper, and share the show. More and more people are watching and listening. We look at the ratings. We look at the numbers. The show is doing fantastic, and it's because of you. We appreciate you guys showing up every day. You can join the Facebook line as well at 100.7 The Viper. And our first grounding on YouTube is over. We are now on the Morning Edge at YouTube. Go follow us.
But we
Go
have
jump
one
in.
strike.
We got one strike.
If we get 2 more strikes, we're done.
It's over.
Forever.
So do we have a goal? Before? We're gonna strike out.
It'll
That's
probably
happening.
I think we should. I think we should intentionally strike
Just
out.
Tabitha also asked me
Forget
on the
YouTube.
textbook line.
Yeah.
I put a K, and she's like, "What does that mean?" She didn't know what a K meant.
Oh, jeez.
But when you get struck out, it's a K.
K.
It's called a K
Why?
because
That's what you put in the
that's how the
scorebook.
kicked out?
is.
That's the scorebook.
That's the scorebook
A scorebook for what?
for baseball.
Jeez.
Oh my gosh.
How can people
Like,
trust
I
you on
have
anything?
ever seen a scorebook for
I
baseball.
no, it's called a K
Or an upside down K is even better.
backwards.
Backwards K.
Okay, well, who's Gary Newman?
Oh my! You know what? I'm done with this. I'm done with her.
Does Tabitha have another
I'm done with
read?
you.
I'm done with her.
Okay. Anyway, thanks for joining us back on the show. We have a phone call, Chris.
Yeah, we do.
Okay. Rob's on the phone from St. Charles County. What's on your mind, Rob?
Hey, thanks for having me on, guys. Yeah, you were just talking about the new CDC guidelines for masks, and I actually read that, inside your own home, if you're vaccinated, they want you to wear a mask, around your own kids. Because like you were saying, it's not just unvaccinated people getting it, it's also vaccinated people spreading it themselves. So this whole deal was about, get your vaccine for other people, take one for the team. Now you can't even sit in your own living room and watch TV with your children without you being a threat to giving them COVID-19. I believe at this point with asymptomatic carriers, that's a lot bigger threat than someone sitting on their, couch getting well because they have COVID-19
hold
and
on.
not spreading it. So if we want to take one for the team, you don't go and get a vaccine. So, the risk of being an asymptomatic carrier, I think, is something, and it's horrible that you still see on the news. They're still touting how great the vaccine's doing. This is unbelievable.
Okay, but here's the thing. That sounds like it sounds like a rumor. I've never heard the CDC coming out and saying wear a mask in your house if you're around kids and you've been vaccinated.
I've heard them say that.
These guys can't even. The CDC director can't even come on a show and say we want to mandate masks for everybody across the country. They're not even saying that yet. So we just got to be real careful on this show.
But Eric,
What's rumor and what's real?
It's not rumor. They have actually said people need to be wearing their masks in their homes, indoors, because if you give it to your child, they're going to take it and give it to daycare workers or teachers, etc. It is absolutely preposterous.
And there are people in this country that are so liberal-minded, and so they are such sheep followers that they will do it. But the way my opinion is that you don't mandate anything. I think Sam Page is in the same boat. If he would have just come out and said, look, I'm not mandating anything, But in St. Louis County, there is a super high recommendation that if you're a business owner, you go to 25% tables and you mask everything. He would have been so much better off doing that than trying to mandate and going through Fitch and the county council. So there's rumor and there's innuendo around all the time. I don't think that's true. I don't think CDC actually has anything out there that says this. But who knows? I mean, I've been surprised so many times on this show that I don't even know how to respond anymore.
Rob, thanks for the call.
Without,
we appreciate it.
Claiming that it's just a rumor. I mean, that's something you could do too, Eric.
Yeah. No, I don't want. If it's true, I will be.
I'm telling you, it's true. I've heard it myself. I've read it myself.
Find it for us, and let's post it.
We've talked about it on the show before.
Yeah, but I need to see it in writing.
Well, you know what? You've got eyes. You can Google it.
Well, what are you doing here then?
Let your fingers do the walking.
Thanks, Rob. We appreciate the phone call. Have a great day. Of course, if you want to give us a call, you can. Statement, question, story, whatever. The phone number 636-695-2915, 636-695-2915. Missouri hospitals say that they have 15% inpatient capacity. The 7-day COVID case average was over 2,000 for the third straight day. That coming out yesterday. Of course, we're talking about all of the total numbers, but once again, in the St. Louis area, not Springfield, nowhere else, St. Louis metropolitan area, and across the country for that matter as well. I'm telling you, the death toll is not there.
Is it possible that the Delta variant, it just doesn't kill? It's not as killy as the last one. And I mean, seriously, I'm not being flippant.
Say that they've been sicker with this.
Sicker is okay.
But the death
not
toll,
morgier.
But the death toll is not there.
I know
still. It's not happening. It would have happened by now. It would have happened by now.
Can't that be part of the story? Can't that be like if you're in a room with COVID, the variant D, you're going to get this thing. If you get this thing and you're not vaccinated, you might go to your doctor, you might feel bad, but you're probably not going to die. This variant seems to not kill you as much. Can't that be a part of the story as well? There's two parts of the story that I never hear. If you are immune from it, natural immunity, and if you get the variant, are you less likely to die? It seems like you're less likely to die, but I'm not putting that false rumor out there. It seems that way.
That all of the very weak and vulnerable people who would die from something like COVID died in the first round?
Great question.
And the people
These
who
are pertinent freaking questions.
are still here are the people who have good immune systems. Because, you can be 90 years old and have a great immune system and fight COVID.
Right. Well, for the Facebook line, tests can differentiate between COVID-19 and then COVID-29D.
Is that the Delta variant?
That's the Delta variant. It has to be the Delta variant.
See, the first time on this show. I never heard that.
That's the first time I've heard it.
Yep. We break a lot of news on this damn show because you don't hear that from, the evening news with Lester Holt on NBC. That's for damn sure.
They can also test sewer water. That's usually how they know when it's spreading into a community is they will go around and test the sewage water, and that will tell them what type of variant is in that community.
That'd be a great job for you.
I think you're right.
Because you're just so short, you can put your little vial in the water without even
I'm going to call them today and ask for a job.
It might pay well. You never know.
Probably
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
But I would get COVID because, that COVID actually can be spread through the fumes in sewage.
Okay. Vic, jump in here, man.
No, we said this.
That is not true.
It is true. And we said this back in March or April. I mean, back when we were at war on COVID. This has been true from day one. And that's why in Hong Kong and China, a lot of other places, they had a lot of issues with people in apartment buildings.
Well, now somebody says that's
getting
fake
COVID.
news. That's I've been looking. I can't find anything.
No.
What's fake news?
That they can't differentiate. They can't differentiate even from that. And
Oh, no,
flu.
they definitely. Oh, you mean the PCR tests?
No, this.
Are you talking about the variants?
Between the variant
They
and
can
COVID-19.
definitely tell the difference between the variants.
Through a test.
I don't know if they can do it through a PCR test, but they can do it through a sewage test.
Tabitha.
I'm positive.
Who's doing a sewage test?
The county health department actually does test the sewage in every community to see what type of variant is spreading.
Okay, no. Yeah.
Okay, if you're
I
talking
get
about
that.
something else, then I have no idea what you're talking about.
No, what I am talking about, Tabitha.
Yes.
Different. Like if you go get tested.
Oh, right.
They're not going to tell you
that.
from the sewage.
No.
That's why this.
But it's been a big topic lately. A lot of people have been sending me messages and asking me and posting on Facebook. How do we know that I've had the Delta variant? How do I know that the Delta variant is in my community? And they know by testing the sewage.
Correct.
There's
we've
also
done several
trace
news
particles.
stories.
Exactly.
There's also trace particles of cocaine in sewage water. It doesn't mean
That
you can
is true.
snort it and get high.
And did anyone say that you could?
No, but I'm just saying
It's always been
not
known,
a factor.
Eric, it's always been known. It is a fact that COVID spreads
Through sewage water?
feces, actually. And a lot of people were
Stop
turning
looking at
on
me when you're
their
talking like that.
exhaust systems in their bathrooms in apartment complexes, and it was infecting other people in the building.
That is
They
disgusting.
closed down several high rises in many different areas because of that.
I just looked down at the Facebook line. Drew, thanks for bringing this up. I respectfully disagree, and I bring this up all the time. Your point is you guys are missing the point. The hospitals are getting full with COVID patients and taking up room from patients that have other illnesses.
Good point.
Okay, fair point. Now let me address it, Drew. Here's the problem. We're not missing the point.
No, we're not.
You know who's missing the point? People who are not putting pressure on or doing stories on the hospitals who got rid of staff as COVID was starting and did not get them back, took federal COVID dollars, lots of them, did not reinvest them in the hospitals, did not reinvest in any air filtration systems like Hotel St. Louis has that kill COVID in the air. They did not put any of those into the hospital. They took that money.
Right.
Okay, I'm not trying to be mean. This is a fact. They have not made working conditions any easier for the nurses who are there, the doctors who are there.
Right.
They have run, and I've talked to and it frustrates me because I brought this up on Friday. They have not, but I repeat, not gotten any help. They have not put programs in place to get more workers there. They have not made anything easier for workers to come in because guess what? When you drive by those hospitals, Drew, or anybody else, they're not full. Right. They're giving you, quote, capacity of beds that can be worked.
Staffed beds. It's called staffed beds.
They have empty beds all over the place at the hospitals. And if you don't ask me, ask the nurses or listen to the nurses who will call in this show or write on the Facebook page. That's why I get frustrated with hospital administration who are in charge of this because they took this money and there's open beds all over.
Right.
And they'll also tell you they have certain amount of beds for COVID patients as well.
Correct.
And they all get lumped in together. That's the fact with that.
Yep.
Yes, hospitals dealing with staff beds is an issue. You're 100% right, Drew, but guess what? It has nothing to do with
He's
COVID.
right.
It has to do with not getting the workers there and putting the money in place to fix the problem.
And you know what?
There's no shortage of nurses either, by the way. That's a myth.
I'm going to stick up for
I've
Drew.
been
I'm
told
going to
that
stick
there
up for
are.
Drew just a little bit. I'm going to stick up for Drew just a little bit because I agree with him. Vic is right. Vic is absolutely right. Drew's kind of right too. It's like the theory is keep people out of the hospitals so that we don't. But then we go back to my theory of why didn't in the beginning they come up with a venue call it COVID Central. And I said that we should utilize the Edward Jones Dome, high ceilings. You could have segregated
Well, they
it.
did, but they just didn't get used.
Well, right, but you could have used that COVID money, thousands of beds that were available for no no bandwidth issues, and then all the hospitals. If you get a COVID patient, they whisk you right down to COVID Central Hotel or whatever you want to call it.
Well, they did do that. It just was never used.
Right, and that was the problem that I felt was never utilized. Is that SSM just kept taking these patients. Barnes Jewish kept taking these patients. So that's how I kind of stick up for Drew a little bit. Is right. The theory is keep people out of the hospitals, and then the hospital beds stay available for people that have cancer and people that have kidney stones and people that need the emergency room
That's
services.
like saying that people in the city need to quit shooting each other because they're taking up hospital beds with shooting victims.
Right, but all I'm saying, and I think you'll agree with me, is there's one variant that was not considered, and that was a separate off-site venue that was just for COVID patients. That would have fixed 90% of our problems.
Well, even so, Eric, even with that, these hospitals have received millions and millions and millions of dollars. Yet what new is going on inside the hospitals? Nothing.
Exactly.
Nothing. But they are not, still even to this day, nothing is going on.
Right. But you can see Sam Page's argument a little bit. You can see Sam Page's argument.
Don't give yourself bonuses.
Right.
You can look it up. I'm not going to get into these weeds, but at least one of the major hospital systems president got a really nice bonus this year. Don't give yourself a bonus.
Right. Right.
Do what's right for the hospital. If this is such a tragedy, oh my God, it's a pandemic, then make your hospital well. Do whatever it takes. Don't sleep until you find a way to make it good, to make it as good as possible for the nurses and the doctors who
Right.
are there and getting training and getting people up to date quickly and paying them enough to come in and do the job and not forcing them to work overtime. Because I've talked to the nurses inside. Don't do that. If you're serious about this pandemic, then you get serious, hospital leaders. You make something happen. You get paid a lot of money. You're brilliant in the jobs that you're in. Make it happen.
And another thing is, I think that I'm surprised and shocked that there's not one part of this country where we didn't try the ivermectin and the hydrochloroquine as a test city. I mean, call it a test city if you want. And we could have tested our theory that ivermectin and whatever other concoctions, wow, that actually works.
Eric, because
and
you know
I
why?
understand the pharmaceutical companies.
It's the
I get
pharmaceutical
it.
companies.
I get it.
It's the FDA.
Right.
Because guess what? It costs almost nothing to treat patients.
I would have loved to
with
see
ivermectin.
that.
But guess
if
what?
I was the mayor of St. Louis, that would have happened.
Well, I think that ivermectin's coming. I don't recall who it was that was giving the long speech the other day that I watched on television about COVID cases. But guess what? They have new treatments that are in clinical trials right now. It's an ivermectin nasal spray. And even our task force in this country has stated a nasal spray is what's coming next.
What is it?
Oh, my. I'm sorry. I don't want to. Go ahead.
Just finish.
We've talked about this. No, great point. With the lack of, quote, nurses, now you have some hospital systems, I guess like Mercy, threatening to fire nurses if they don't get vaccinated when they don't have enough nurses.
True. But you know what? There is no shortage of nurses. And why I say that is because I know a lot of nurses. I know a lot of people out there, nurses who are making a lot of public comments. They say, no, we're here. We're ready to work, but we don't want to be forced to be vaccinated. So we're not working for, this hospital or this hospital group. And they're not treating us right. If they would treat us right and they would give us acceptable hours, acceptable pay, then guess what? We would be there and we would be working. But we're not because they don't treat us the way we want to be treated. Yeah. So there are nurses out there.
The nurse that I spoke to who says that she's being treated horribly at BJC and she's a top level nurse, but she says the surgeries are going longer. It's costing people more money. They're having more complications. Said that there are not enough nurses. I don't know. Maybe it's nurses that are willing to work.
Nurses that are willing to work under those conditions.
Yeah. I mean, that is cause and effect. There's less cops because cops are demonized.
The COVID money needs to go to the nurses.
Yeah,
it needs to go to the docs.
Yes, it does. Well,
it needs to go to staff. Get the hospitals fully open. Then we're not dealing with this crap. Because when we're talking about all of these cases going up, people in ICUs, but we're not talking about deaths, come on.
Yeah,
and Page is still sitting on $22 million in COVID relief funds, by the way.
Nurses were heroes last year. Now they're being treated like crap. From a nurse.
That's exactly correct.
Yeah. And same with teachers. Teachers were heroes, and now they're being treated like the parents going, what the hell's going on here?
Well, that's the teachers union's
fault. I know,
fault.
but it's all of this cause and effect stuff going on. It's just, it's like the Democrats don't understand. If they do A, B is the backlash is going to be B. If you mask the entire world, the backlash of parents is going to be, we're not doing this anymore. And that's where I'm starting to see this little teeny weeny tsunami is starting to happen.
Oh, there's getting ready to be a big tsunami because I will almost bet you they're going to try to push mandatory vaccinations for schools. I will bet they're already doing it for colleges. I bet they will do it for high schools. I have no doubt in my mind they're at least going to try.
It's coming.
It is definitely coming.
Vic is going to have a vaccination to get into Fox over there. I guarantee it. I guarantee it.
I don't know about that.
I guarantee it. Why wouldn't you? If you're a corporation and you're playing by the rules of everybody else, and your guys over at Channel or Fox 2 aren't vaccinated, and what happens when Fox 2 goes to the courthouse or somewhere as a reporter?
Well, that you may not be able to go into the courthouse.
Channel 4 or KMOX.
They're trying to pass a law where you cannot enter a federal building unless you are vaccinated.
Exactly. How do you?
And that doesn't matter who you are. You have to be vaccinated if you're going to court, if you work there, if you're visiting. That's going to be a real issue if they pass this law.
It's coming.
I don't know if they're going to pass that law.
I don't know.
And
Biden's pushing it.
Biden has been pushing it. Here's the problem, though. It'll probably federally mandated vaccines, I think, will probably happen at some point. I really do. I do. I don't know if it's anytime soon. But here's the issue. Right now, when you have 40% reoccurring cases, and they've got an issue, there's no way you can mandate a vax that doesn't work now.
Doesn't mean they won't do it
anytime soon.
But isn't
it's not about health.
Because they'd have some. I know
it's not about health. It's all propaganda. And guess what, Vic? They will lie through their teeth.
But they can't lie.
They will and can. They
There's
will sit
data
there.
that shows that the
I
vaccine
know,
is
but
not
look at
working.
Fauci has lied this entire time. We saw the emails that prove the exact opposite of the words coming out of his mouth. It goes to show they don't care. They will lie to us because a certain percentage of the population will believe it, which is highly unfortunate.
When are you going to start to hear the Rocky music from the elections coming up next year? And these Republicans that are just coming out of their dun 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 dun, and they start this groundswell of this kind of the cavalry is coming. These Democrats are going to be gone soon. That's coming.
There's no cavalry coming. I wish I could say that
It's
it was,
coming.
but I don't believe there is.
You don't think? You think that it's going to be status quo in 2022? You think it's good? You think the midterms are going to be?
I think they control
not
the
a
elections.
bloodbath?
I think
Come
they control
on.
the elections, and there's going to be very little we can do. We had a cavalry during the presidential election, and look what happened.
No, we didn't.
Yes, we did.
No, we didn't. It was an uphill. Trust me, it was an uphill
You
battle.
know, so you're saying they didn't cheat by?
Look,
come on now.
Before we get off, and we somebody wanted to explain what's going on with the Cardinals. Okay, here's what happened with the Cardinals. If you didn't realize it again, because just to finish up the COVID and the masking, because Sam Page came out again today and said masks are still required, and of course, the governor, the attorney general, county council said no, they're not. Cardinals games, you did not need to wear masks because there was confusion into the stadium. You did not need to wear them in your seats. You only needed to wear the mask and for the rest of the season until further told, dun, 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 when you go into 5 inside parts of the facilities and into Ballpark Village. But I wasn't at Ballpark Village to see if that was even enforced because we already know, and Faisal Khan told us at the council meeting last Tuesday, there really is no enforcement. There's no enforcement for any of this. So that's giving you the updated situation on the Cardinals because I promised I would ask and address that since somebody wanted to know what was going on. They didn't see masks on people at the stadiums and they were concerned with what the messaging was being given out. All right. We got that done. So here we are. COVID cases on the rise. The deaths are low. And you, if any, and you still have the situation going on where Page called the presser today. So we'll see where it goes, the media headlines. By the way, county council meeting's next meeting is tomorrow night. And Lisa Clancy, one of the 2 people who voted for the mask mandate, is supposed to she's requesting new legislation tomorrow night, but I'm told it's going nowhere.
What does that mean?
New legislation?
To have another vote.
Oh my God!
Channel 5 did a story that it wasn't very thorough. Go figure. And nothing's happening with this, but it's getting hype because that's what they're trying to do. It's over. There is no mask mandate. Nothing will come out of tomorrow night's meeting. Watch my words and what I say right now. Channel 5 did a story on it, and that's it. Lisa Clancy's going to try to have it changed. Nothing is going to come of it, though.
There needs to be more public.
Instead of working together, there's just more divide.
Right. There needs to be the governor needs to come out right now and says St. Louis County, as far as the state is concerned, has no mask mandate.
He already did.
He said as far as I'm concerned, there's not. It needs to be definitive. Like, ladies and gentlemen of St. Louis County, you don't have a mask mandate.
The attorney general already said that.
Then how come Sam Page thinks there's still a mask mandate, Vic? Is that not the story?
Because he's the boss.
It doesn't matter. You know what? I'm the lead guitar player in the Doobie Brothers. As a matter of fact, I got to leave here to meet them in San Jose because that's where they're playing next. And I'm going on stage with the Doobie Brothers. And as soon as I get there, there's going to be some stage manager going, no, you're not. You might want to buy a ticket if you want to see the Doobie Brothers. That's how I think about Sam Page right now. Sam Page is like literally he's just saying things if that's the case.
Well, he wants to be a dictator, but I really think all this COVID stuff is just smoke and mirrors. I think they just want us all distracted talking about masks when the real stuff is going on behind the scenes and no one talks about it. It's all smoke and mirrors. They love it when we talk about vaccines and masks because then we miss the real issues.
Tabitha Hassell is tall.
Yeah, that wouldn't be
No, that's
accurate.
not. It's actually not accurate at all. But if Tabitha Hassell said, look, I'm tall.
But
we
don't
would
you
all
think,
look at you and go, no, you're not tall.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but don't you think...
It's Sam Page. It's the same thing. It's like he's telling the media.
I could
he's
care
telling
less about
Channel
Sam
2.
Page.
It's not about you.
His issue is done and over. Everyone knows he failed. There is no mask mandate. I don't know why we keep talking about it. It's over.
As a leader, don't you say, I was outvoted and I will do my best to make my point to the council? But that's not happening.
Well, of course it's not happening because he wants to keep it on going. And that's what our government wants to do. They want to keep this mess going because they're covering up what they're really doing. They're covering up what's really going on in this country. And if everybody in every news channel is talking about masks and COVID all the time, then they miss all the real issues.
Gotcha.
Because trust me, there's a lot going on in this country and in this world.
Then why is Tim Fitch on
Tim
Fitch on a tour to tour Bridgeton and Fenton and wherever else to tell? Seriously,
just to secure to
Yeah.
make sure, because
that sounds like a waste of time to me.
No, it's not.
Eric,
Not
here's
at all.
the deal. Because when you have a county executive who every single day since Tuesday has come out in some form or fashion and said the mask mandate is still in effect, you don't want mixed messaging. Because I already said those who have the control of the messaging in the media have the message, and they get that out day after day after day. So he's just out reminding people, listen, this is the law. This is what the governor says. This is what the state attorney general says. This is HB 271. This is the law. Don't get pressured. Don't feel wrong. This is what's going on. Because this isn't just ultimately about what's happening with masks. This is about control and having to deal with county council for future, Eric, I repeat, for future dealings in St. Louis County. This isn't just about, quote, mask.
Right.
This is about bypassing checks and balances.
Exactly.
Which is very big. And because right now, as Tabitha says, the COVID is the talk, but what else could be coming down the line in a year?
Oh, there's a lot coming down the line.
And if you don't have to work with said council and you can make every decision from, quote, the top, this is more about that. It's about what power county council and state law actually play in St. Louis County.
And it is important because there are things that are coming. And guess what? HB 271 will protect us when these things do come down the line. And I am not talking about COVID, but things related, the aftermath of COVID restrictions and shutdowns. I mean, we don't have to get into it today because I know it wasn't a planned topic, but there are some serious shortages that are going to be affecting this country over the next few months to a year. And we're all going to have some serious problems due to these shortages. And if it comes down to it, we're going to be restricted in so many different ways due to shortages.
A la Jimmy Carter.
That we have to have some control. We cannot have a dictator running the county.
Go
Tabitha,
Fitch.
do you know how to take us to break?
That's your job.
No. I mean, do you know?
I'm kidding. No, I know I cannot do that.
Okay.
That is Chris's job.
He's got the law.
I know how to switch the cameras and turn the microphones on and off and answer the phone. That's about the end of my board expertise.
All right. We got it. Okay. So we're going to continue to talk about that. Now, we're going to be taking a break here in just a second. Eric, really quick, because we got to talk about what's going on with the border and what is happening with Greg Abbott, the governor, what he's trying to do, and what's happening with Merrick Garland, the Attorney General for the United States. It's a huge, huge story. We'll get to it. But real quick, the United States women's soccer team lost. You said you wanted to explain something. Could you do it now?
So at the beginning of the Olympics, and I think I always wanted to get a beer with Vic and just watch the Olympics for a second. At the beginning, I was like, I hope every single team on the Olympics loses their ass. They're not playing for us apparently. Well, what I just found out over the weekend is there are a lot of athletes for the Olympic team that are playing for us.
Absolutely.
The women's softball team in lockstep. I mean, like a military line, right down first base line with their hands on their heart as the American flag is being raised. I was like, okay, that doesn't look like kneeling to me. I'm on board with I'm on board for that.
That's because the few people that do the kneeling and don't like America are the ones they show on the camera.
Right.
They get the most attention.
And that
but
would
the
be
majority
what does
are
this
there
have to do with
for
the
the United
women's team
States.
losing?
I was getting there, but the militant midget piped in.
We don't have 30 minutes to talk about it.
We do. Well, apparently we do. Then I start looking at the women's soccer team, who I'm completely disgusted with, and who everybody on our Facebook line is completely disgusted with, and who everybody that's listening to the show is completely disgusted with if you're an American citizen. You do not kneel. You do not take the time to be political when you have to use every ounce of energy to win on an international stage, right? So when you start to kneel and you start to get on covers of magazines because you are kneeling, Vic, you're going to lose games because you're not putting in the time to focus your energies and work together as what? Say it with me, a team. You are more concerned with getting a commercial for Subway sandwiches and not being a team member. That's why you're famous, is because you're
because they were good.
Yes, they were good, but now they suck. They lost to Sweden, and now they lost to Cuba.
When you don't get a medal, you don't even make the medal round.
Right. You suck. No,
well,
on an international stage, if you lose,
I guess they could still win the bronze.
So anyway, the thing about it is the guys that go out there that are spouting off America first, they're winning gold, they're winning silver,
Not all the time. Not all the time.
This Olympics has surprised me, and these guys that are true American, that got the fervor for a USA, are winning, and I am supporting them. But I cannot. I hope that the United States soccer team, man, I hope they go away, and I hope that our soccer team, our next women's soccer team, who we were so proud of a few years ago, just leave. Just go to another country. Find one you like. Go to the Virgin Islands. Just
not the entire soccer team.
Get yourself a nice little bungalow and just write a book about how much the United States sucks. But get the hell off of the international stage. But I'm so proud of our American athletes that it's America first. And when you get on that podium, you put your hand over your heart, and you say, "I just did this for you, and I'm done." You lose games if you don't focus all of your energy in one place, and they're not focusing. So I hope they lose out. I'm done.
All right. We're going to get to that in just a moment. We'll come back with more Edge right after this. If you want to give us a call, you can. The phone number is 636-695-2915. Of course, you can join us on Facebook, 100.7 The Viper. We'll continue this talk as well, but when we come back, we'll tell you what's going on at the border. And if this doesn't scare you, I don't know what should, especially because of how COVID and how we're all worried about the variant at a national level, what's happening with the immigration policies that are going on at the border, and now how the Attorney General of the United States is telling the governor of Texas he's doing something unlawful. It'll blow your mind. Back with more Edge right after this.
The Edge Morning Show.
I never miss it. It's like I blinked, and suddenly all my business shifted to e-commerce.
Now, my business hours are whenever my customers need me.
My customers want everything now and faster than ever. It's a whole different world.
Your business is changing. The United States Postal Service is changing with it. We're bringing you fast, reliable shipping nationwide, and we're bringing it right when your customers need it. Let's discover new routes. Visit USPS.com/new routes. The United States Postal Service. Priority, you.
The great Gap sale at Gap Factory and GapFactory.com is here. Styles up to 75% off. Plus, limited time deals including active shorts for the family from $19.99. Shop now through July 10th.
Here's a message for Quiver River Electric members. Vote now in your annual Board of Directors election through August 23rd. Members may vote online, by paper ballot, or at the annual meeting on August 26th. If you vote, you are automatically entered into a drawing for free electricity prizes. Learn more about the voting process, the bylaw proposition on the ballot, and board candidates at quiver.com or call 1-800-392-3709.
From runny noses to running injuries to school and sports physicals, the BJC Medical Group Convenient Care at Wentzville is ready to help. Located at 1520 Wentzville Parkway, the Convenient Care is open every day from 8 a.m. till 8 p.m. Our BJC providers are on hand every day, including morning, evenings, and weekends, to care for all patients 2 and older. With low co-pays and walk-ins welcome, it's your best medicine when you need it. To learn more about the BJC Medical Group Convenient Care at Wentzville, visit bjc.org/Wentzville.
Welcome to MegaNet. For slow internet, press 1. For indifferent customer service, press 2. For confusing pricing, press 3. For extremely long wait times, stay on the line. You are 87th in line, 85th in line, 87th in line, 85th in line, 85th in line.
Where there was frustration, now there's satisfaction.
Hello, this is Helen at Gateway Fiber. How may I help you?
Isn't it time you refreshed your internet provider? For more information, visit gatewayfiber.com.
Hi, this is Curtis Barks. I am the owner of Complete Auto Body and Repair. Family owned and operated since 1973. We've seen a lot of storms. We know what we're doing. We're here to help. Complete Auto Body and Repair has multiple locations in the St. Louis area that handles hail damage and storm damage. So if you had an issue or have an experience where you had to turn in a claim, please reach out to us. We'll handle all the red tape. We are Complete Auto Body and Repair. We handle everything from start to finish. If it's not perfect, it's not complete. Others can't compete with Complete Auto Body.
Dad, and service!
Oh yeah, and service.
The Great Gap Sale started at Gap Factory and GapFactory.com. Shop styles up to 75% off, plus long weekend deals, including flip-flops from $3, tees and tanks from $6, dresses from $12, and more. Shop it all through July 5th at Gap Factory and GapFactory.com.
Now, back to the Edge Morning Show.
Hey guys, welcome back to The Edge. We appreciate you joining us this morning. Derek Johnson, Chris Knight, and Tabitha Hassell, and Vic Faust of Fox 2. If you want to give us a call, got about 18 minutes, 636-695-2915. You can also join us now again on YouTube, The Morning Edge on YouTube, and of course, ViperRocks.com. ViperRocks.com, take us on the go. Okay, I teased this going into it. Attorney General Merrick Garland says it is, quote, dangerous and unlawful for Texas Governor Greg Abbott to stop the federal government's busing of border crossers and illegal aliens into the interior of the United States. Let that sink in. This week, Abbott issued an executive order that bans local, state, and federal law enforcement officers from providing ground transportation for border crossers and illegal aliens who have been detained by Customs and Border Protection or who have been ordered removed under the Center for Disease Control, CDC, Title 42, because of sickness. So you've got federal agents busing illegal aliens
but
in through Texas to other places.
Yes.
And Abbott says, we're stopping it. So Abbott was allowing state police to stop any suspicious vehicle.
He
rerouted them back, impounding vehicles.
Yes.
Merrick Garland then goes, He's saying it's unlawful to do that.
It is very lawful.
What the heck? I mean, it's not getting any national attention. This is as big as it gets. Number one, if you're serious about COVID, you have to shut the border.
Yeah.
Because of what's coming in.
And
it's
that's never going
a farce.
to happen.
It's a farce. It's a lie. It's a farce.
I don't even know how to respond to it. But the patrol guys down there in Texas were like looking at these buses and going, "You're not going that way. You're going that way." And we're impounding this bus, and everybody on this bus is going to whatever facility they were going to put them to.
We know what the buses look like. They're white buses with darkened out windows. We know exactly.
This
what the
is
vehicles
so
look like.
damn shady, because Merrick Garland is saying, I mean, this is against the law. You are responsible, Biden, for our border security.
Why would Merrick Garland say this, though?
Well,
this is
because he's a shill of the Biden
administration.
administration. There's something going on.
Why
There's something
would he
going
try
on.
to stop state police from stopping the transportation of illegal aliens with sicknesses and COVID throughout the state
Something's
of
going
Texas and
on.
other states?
But you both should understand this. I mean, and I'm not saying I agree that it should happen. I don't. I absolutely think Abbott is doing the right thing. But legally, we have to remember, when these people cross our border and they get within so many feet into the United States, I think it's maybe over 150 yards into the United States, they are allowed due process just like any other American is.
That's not due process, though, yet.
No, it's not. But they are allowed the same rights and freedoms the rest of us are. And guess what that means? That means they can travel across the country however they wish. I don't agree with it, and I don't like it.
The way that the law was
due to them.
explained to me that's not true once they cross the border, that they just automatically go free. That's not the law.
That's what the Biden administration, that is the law that they are following. According to the Biden administration.
But that's not written law.
It's, well, of course not. A written law would be that people should be deported immediately when they cross, but within 150 yards. Once they make it that 150 yards over, then they are due.
Okay,
then they have due process.
So what Tabitha's talking about this.
It's all about how far away they get from the
So
fence.
here's what Tabitha's talking about. You get into the right way to come in the United States is go through one of our checkpoints.
Legal ports, correct.
A port of entry. So the law was written, if you come up to the port of entry and you don't have the documentation, you're not allowed in.
Absolutely
okay.
correct.
So what's happening, obviously, is they're coming into guarded parts of our border. Boom, they just go, "Hi, I'm here. Take me and put me into your due process." They know. And thank you, Facebook, for bringing this up.
They know how our laws work.
They know that they are a pawn, COVID or not. They are trying to bust these people into red parts of the country to flip votes. Period. Into discussion. This is not debatable anymore. We get what you're doing. It's why you're not allowed to go across the Canadian border, because that's irrelevant. People that come across the Canadian border don't want to stay in the United States. They want to go home to Canada. But Mexico, the Biden administration and the liberals have said, we are going to make sure that we win every election from this point forward. And these election laws, we're going to call them, I don't know, let's come up with Jim Crow. Yeah, use that word, Jim Crow. Well, that'll change a lot of minds, and they won't be able to do these election laws that make our voting system more secure.
Well, it's about our Constitution. Our Constitution states that if somebody crosses our border, even if it's illegally, and they get so many yards across the border,
so you're saying
they are allowed due process.
Okay, you get it. You get it.
Then what happens is the Biden administration sets them up
we get it.
with an asylum dates, court dates, and then they are allowed to go anywhere in the country.
That's fantastic. But now we're trying to figure out why and how and what's going on. Now you see Merrick Garland saying these buses will go where we tell them to go, i.e. St. Louis, Missouri.
It's one of the most concerning things that I have heard recently from a national standpoint.
It's been happening forever. It's not new. This is not a new policy.
The fact that it has been happening, which most of us know, well, maybe we don't. Maybe many people don't know. That's not my issue. My issue is what Merrick Garland is saying publicly. That is brand new. What Merrick Garland is saying right now is
no one's ever tried to stop them before.
It's a brand new story because of Governor Abbott trying to stop it and giving state police the autonomy and the power to stop it. Merrick Garland saying it's unlawful. We'll see where it goes now, because the state police aren't stopping. Abbott says we're not stopping them from doing.
You know
this
what?
Right
The only way they could stop these cops down there it's not just the Texas cops. Arkansas sent people. Kristi Noems has started sending people. The Florida troopers are over there. I mean, it's not just this is not just Texas anymore. This is a lot of states. This is what we talked about 16 months ago. What is it? What does a civil war look like in this country? It looks like what we're looking at now on our southern border. We are being invaded. It's an invasion. They don't have uniforms on. They don't have tanks. They don't have hand grenades. It's just people invading the border. That's it. It meets Webster Dictionary's criteria for invasion. Okay? They are going to these places across the country where they're being set up. Don't kid yourself. And eventually, the Democrats are going to have these laws that say, you know what, you can actually vote off-site, and you can put your ballot into these boxes, and they'll be counted.
Well, you don't have to be a United States citizen to vote in a federal election. You vote a federal-only ballot, and you do not have to be a citizen. I mean, the rules are being changed all over. Right now, go to Charter, go to CenturyLink, try to sign up for cable service. Guess what? You don't even have to put your Social Security number in anymore. Because you know what? They no longer
Here's a
check
question
that
for you, Vic.
because they're catering to people who don't have Social
Here's
Security
a question
numbers.
for you, Vic. What if you find out that the Delta variant is so prevalent in St. Louis and Missouri because of people being brought from the border up here to Missouri?
We would never know that. There's no way.
Would you never know that?
No.
There's no
or
way
at
to
least
prove
we'll
that.
know that.
There's no way to find that out.
No. How? How would you? I mean, I don't know. How would you?
Missouri is a fantastic place. If you were going to try to make a red state blue, this is a great place to do it. So you don't think that some of that virus could be coming up here to the state of Missouri?
I mean, there's no way to prove it. I mean, COVID is like the flu or a cold. It's spread. It's highly transmissible. I mean, it could be coming from anywhere.
I bring up a pertinent question, and I would like, if it can be answered, that'd be great.
We can't answer that. But one thing I want to point out is that the governors of each state, they do not know that these people are being sent into their state. And I want to make that point clear. When Parson was on our show, it has been several weeks now, he said, I don't know. If they're sending these people to our state, I don't know. They don't inform me.
What? So Governor Parson has no idea
they are not
of white
informing the
buses.
governors. Because it's federal. It's federal. It has nothing to do with state law. It's federal. So no, Governor Parson probably has, unless he's investigated, probably has no idea.
Pregnant pause.
Where people are going, how many are sent into the state, etc.
I mean, I don't know.
I
what
was
to
just
say.
letting you talk. I
I don't know what to
Eric?
say. It's like your government's working as an enemy of the state right now. If that's true, and it might not be, but your government, your federal government, is literally working against you constitutionally. But
Well-
they can. But there's plausible
Well,
deniability.
how do American citizens feel about illegal aliens coming across the border and then being bussed into places throughout Texas and other places
for a
across the
strategy?
country?
For a strategy. It's strategic.
No.
It's strategic.
But it's always been this way. It's
but
nothing new.
No, but how do American people feel? I wonder. Do most people even know what's going on? No,
Most
they
people
don't.
don't know.
That's
they
sad.
don't.
Then they deserve to lose their country.
Because this is nothing new. It's
Then they
always
deserve
been
it.
this way.
They deserve it. It's the way I feel about it. If
Because-
you don't have the time to figure out what's going
Well,
on,
it's not even that though, Eric. It's because you're not going to hear about this in national media. You're not going to hear about it in local media.
that's why you just need to listen to The Edge from 8
And
to 10
people
every
are
day.
busy. But if you go read, if you do, as we've talked about, diligence, you will see. I don't know. It just blows my mind that the Attorney General is saying, nope, you can't stop busloads of illegal aliens being driven out and sent out to different parts of the country.
Who then, by the way, your tax money is paying their way here in the United States.
With COVID and the variant.
Yeah.
And other
and
things.
then you want to mask up everybody in St. Louis because COVID variants being brought in via the border or in what's another Little Rock, Arkansas, or wherever they're bringing these people. And by the way, they estimate that there's been over 2 million people come across the border since the Biden administration has started. 2 million people.
Well,
That's
but-
an estimation.
Prior to Trump taking office, there were 250,000 people that crossed our southern border every single month illegally. And before Trump came into office, the exact same thing happened as what's happening now. People were coming across the border illegally. They were giving due process, and they were busing them out to every state in the country. That nothing is new now. Trump cut that down by 92%. The problem is maybe under Obama, people weren't as aware of what was going on. But Biden just went back to the old Obama policies.
Can I get into some numbers quickly on Biden before we take this final break? The Economist YouGov poll, and the YouGov polls are pretty down the middle. They really are. 39% of those polled think that Joe Biden says what he believes. 44% think he says what people want to hear. 38% are confident in his ability to deal wisely with an international crisis. 46% do not trust him.
Wow.
41% think Biden is honest and trustworthy. 42% say no. That's a big one. The nation is split on whether Biden actually cares about people like them. Only 21% think Biden can bring the country together. 50,
That's high.
53% don't.
No, it's not going to happen. He's done. He's spent.
51% think Biden is liberal or very liberal. Only 27% think he's moderate. Once again, and that was a survey of 2,000 Americans conducted between July 24th and July 27th. And those were the days before the chaos erupted with the Delta variant.
Dude.
That was the Economist YouGov poll.
And you know what's so important about those numbers? It's not about the number that you read right now. It's about the trend. How is it trending? If it's trending down like that since he was elected, he ain't coming back up. There's no way that he's coming back up from that. It's not going to happen.
What's the alternative?
I don't know how to answer that. I don't even know how to answer that.
Which is the lesser of two evils?
Somebody he would literally have to come out of his Alzheimer's disease and come out with a podium in front of some in front of the media and say, you know what? These guys have been tricking me in the Oval Office. I'm coming back. Here's the old Joe Biden. We're going to bring this country together. Screw those socialists. That might work. But other than that, no, it's not going to work. He's done.
We'll be right back with our final segment right after this. Don't go anywhere. Share the show, 100.7 The Viper.
Morning Show is coming right back.
Our homes are where we feel the most happy, safe, and secure. So when you see cracked drywall, uneven floors, or basement wall cracks, you want to make sure it's fixed forever. Woods Basement Systems, the all things basement experts, can restore your home's value. So call toll free at 888-900-1721 for a free estimate. Foundation problems don't get better with time, they get better with Woods Basement Systems. Discount offer from Woods at viperbasements.com. That's viperbasements.com.
John Lang here, owner of Mountaintop Motor Company. I was 25 when I started my company with 5 cars, and I knew one thing for sure, that I wasn't going to be like other car dealers. I had a clear intention to be truthful and honest with everyone, and that I would treat people the way I wanted to be treated. I would offer an excellent product at a great price. I wanted something I could stand behind and be proud of, in a place that made people feel comfortable and at ease. I absolutely wanted to aim higher.
Hey listeners, it's Steve here at the radio station, and you should check out Mountaintop Motor Company, one of the area's coolest dealerships. It's like Western Lodge meets Midwest. Canoes from the ceiling, free beer, and friendly staff. The staff is laid back, not pushy at all, and they're knowledgeable. Mountaintop gets most of their trucks from out of state, so a lot are rust-free. They have lots of diesel trucks, custom trucks, work trucks, and just really clean trucks. They've got 1,000 5-star reviews. Now, these guys know how to make people happy. MountaintopMotors.com and on Facebook and Instagram.
If you want the best, don't settle for the rest. Come to F&S. F&S Collision Repair provides the best customer service, quality of work, paint color match, and paintless dent repair. They do it all. No job too big or too small. Just what your car or truck ordered. F&S Collision. Call today to schedule your appointment and get that car repaired. F&S Collision Repair.
Start with everyone with a brand new puppy they cannot leave home alone. And there he is now, disemboweling a sofa. Now narrow it to the puppy parents who need to get their prescriptions refilled today. For you, there's Walgreens same-day prescription delivery. Medication sent right to your door from the local Walgreens you already know and trust. So you can spend all day at home teaching your new puppy some manners. Elroy, roll over. Or just sit there and tilt your head. Aw. To join, text JOIN-RX to 21525.
People's Bank and Trust is helping you get a grip on your finances with our new mobile banking service. You can now manage your accounts, check balances, transfer funds, and pay bills all from the palm of your hand. Visit us online at www.pbtc.net for more information and to start using mobile banking. People's Bank and Trust, hometown banking the way it should be. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Here comes more of the Edge Morning Show.
Hey, welcome back to the show, everybody. We appreciate it. We got about 2 minutes left. Thanks for making this such a fantastic show again today. We'll continue to see what happens today, if anything more, when it comes to the vaccine, the virus. County council meeting tomorrow night. We'll see if anything else shows up. I don't think they're going to have people at the council meeting tomorrow night.
Why? Oh, I'm sure they won't now. It'll be closed.
It's
because a super spreader event.
Is Sam going to be there?
Well, yeah, he'll be there as long as people aren't.
He was in his back.
He'll have his hazmat suit on.
He was in his backyard this morning doing his press conference.
He sure was.
He's
Trampoline
not.
in the
that's right. 'Cause
backyard.
he was at the meeting on Tuesday, so he's also in a 10-day quarantine.
And there was so many people
Oh, my
there, he
gosh.
put a mask on at the end of the press conference. Did you see that?
Well, he's
In his
quarantined.
backyard.
Well, all the videos have now been released where you see Dr. Khan walk from the podium through chambers, out chambers, walks past a group of people with police, out the door. You see the video from the start to the end is out there. It's easy. You can even go on Twitter. You can find it. It's very, very, it's very clear as day. Nobody ever touched him, which now says, uh-oh,
Yeah.
he lied. Nobody ever physically assaulted him. Nobody touched him. That's an issue. It's a big issue. But the county executive, Sam Page, says he still believes him, despite what video shows.
Of course he does.
Just far, there comes a point in time when you have to stop the charade.
Absolutely so.
And I just
because Vic, people will believe Page if he sticks up behind Khan. People will believe it because guess what? People are not always out watching the video or listening to the truth.
It's out there.
I would
That's
respect Sam
It is
Page if he
unfair.
just came up. Here's a physician. He's from SSM, and he believes he understands all sides. He understands that there's this thing called, whatever, inflammation of the heart, and he also understands if you get this, you will be protected. If he had some guy that could do the entire gamut of what everybody is thinking and address it, I would respect him. I'd be like, damn, he got a guy that's not a shill for himself. Wow. But the next one will be even worse than Faisal Khan or whatever his name is.
Well, we got to get out of here. We thank everybody for joining us this morning. Again, for the fastest 2 hours of morning talk radio, Eric Johnson, Chris Knight, and Tabitha Hassell. I'm Vic Faust of Fox 2. We'll come back. We'll try to do it even better tomorrow at 8 a.m. Have a great day. I'll see you for Fox 2 News at 5 and 9.
All right. Dan Bongino's up for some, and Shanny's up next for the others at the Viper. Have a great day.